In the previous section, we took our customer's CSV file as well as orders and order details, and we merged all of those into this cust orders XML file. So let me take a look at that. And here it is. You can see we've got a customer. Our first customer has got orders, and here's an order detail record. So it's a line item. So we've got sort of complex data structure here. So what we're going to do now is to read this in and split it back out into customers, orders, and order details. So let's shut this back down. And I've prepared this already, so we're going to write it just out to trash, but obviously this could be going to other Clover components. So let's double click and bring up the property editor. So the first thing we're going to do is to go and point it to the XML file cust orders. So let's go and find that. It's we wrote that to the data out, and there you can see cust orders XML, and I also created the cust orders XSD. Let's select that, click OK, and that's now all right. So now we have to either provide the schema or not provide the schema if we don't have one. I actually use a tool to generate the XSD from a complete XML file. You don't have to, and I'll show you in a second how to set up the mapping field if you don't have that. Anyway, I do have the schema, so I'm now going to go and point it at the schema. Here is custorders.xsd. And now when I go to mapping, you'll see we get a wizard. And this is past the XSD and broken out the customers, orders, and order details. So what I can now do is say which components I'm interested in. So we're interested in the customer, orders, and order details. So now the way that Clover works is each component gets assigned to an output port from the component. So customer, I'm going to assign an output port, and I just specify here which one. I'm going to have port 0 for customers, port 1 is orders, and then this order details XML section will map to the order details port. And that's it, that's all I have to do. Now if you didn't have an XSD, then you can actually write this mapping XML directly into the mapping property without using that wizard. This is all fairly straightforward. It's rather similar to the when we wrote, except rather than import, you now specify output. I'm not going to go into any more detail on this here. You can look it up in the documentation if you require. And that's it. So as I said, we've already connected these edges, and these edges were obviously associated with metadata as well. So that's all I have to do. Let's run it. We've already got debugs on, so we can look at what comes out in a second. I'm now going to run that. And here you can see we've got 91 customers extracted, 830 orders, 2,155 line items. Let's go and quickly take a look at the data. So there are the customers that have been extracted from the XML. Here are the order details. The orders. Here you can see the order ID, which would link it back. The customer ID will link it back to the customer record. And on the order details, the order ID field links each order line item back to the order record. And that's it.